All right, hey guys. Say I'm going to walk you through grades and a couple things in Excel that I go through with the kids that I think that the book doesn't do a very good job of describing this. I know if you've read the chapter, you've picked up on a lot of things. One of the things we did as a class was grades. So I'm going to go over a couple things. I'll quiz you about it at the end, so it's not graded, but I just want to see if you've kind of picked up on the things. So it might be a 5-question quiz at the end of this that you'll have to do. Well, let's just take a look at this right now. All right, so grades is something that you would have done as a practice. I want to talk about a few different things. The first one here is Excel does some really cool things as far as what you can do. This was the final project, what grades should look like, but I'm just going to kind of go through it. Excel, well, it knows what you're going to do next. Let's put it that way. So first thing I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the difference between highlighting and filling. So I just deleted test 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to fill it in without typing anything. If you just highlight it, if you click and hold, that's called highlighting. And there's times that you'll need to do that, but right now I want to fill. If you notice that my cursor right now is a plus and it's white. As I move to the bottom right-hand corner, it goes to a black plus. Okay, from there I can click and hold and I can drag, and Excel guesses that we were counting. So it went from test 1 to test 2, test 3, and test 4. There's things you can do that with. You know, we can do that with numbers as well. The problem with numbers is I can't just go 1 because then it's going to repeat 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It doesn't know we're counting. But once I put 2 in there and highlight both of them, okay, now I can fill that across and I can count as high as I want to count. I mean, it's going to go forever if I let it. That's one nice function of Excel. Use the fill function as you do things. Another one would have been a formula, and I'll talk about that here in just a second. Let me get rid of these. Just undo. Okay, so in Excel, kids will always try to add things up. So one of the things you had to do is you were supposed to create an average formula for the average test and for all of them averaged together for each student. Well, in this case, what they did is they did type in average. I thought maybe they were going to add them all up and divide by the number amount. But this is what you'd like to do is the equals average B3 through B8. That's the way I like to see it done. There's other ways you can do it. I'll go ahead and delete that and show you. The shortcut method to this would be to highlight those 6, and then there is an auto sum function which is up here in Word. If you click that the drop down arrow, sum is the first one. So if I just would have clicked that sideways in, it would have added them up. I don't want to do that. I want to average them. So if you click on average, there you can see that it averaged the formula out. I didn't have to type it out. The other way is I actually could have typed equals average and then highlighted what cells I wanted to, and I'll show you that. I could do that for each one if I wanted to. So in this case, I would go equals average. I don't believe it has to be capitalized. Once I put that parenthesis in there, I can highlight what I want. So I can click and drag and hold. I could click the very first one, hold the shift key down, select the last one. It's going to do everything in between. And then I can click enter. It's going to average them out too. You know, let's say I had to do that 1,000 times. That would take a long time. So using the fill function, you can grab, I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Okay, I can go ahead and grab the bottom right-hand corner of it, and I can fill this across, and that's what it's doing, is it's averaging each one. So that's why I use the cell reference. So, you know, B3 to B8, so when I fill it over to column C, it's going to change to C3 and C8 when I go to the next one. Okay, so C3 to C8, click the next one, D3 to D8, you get the point. In the previous chapters, or I'm sorry, in coming up chapters, we're going to learn how to make those absolutes, so as we fill, it won't change. But that's one nice little thing that Excel has. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the cell or conditional formatting. I'm going to go ahead and delete this conditional formatting right here. You were to create it, so let's go ahead and delete this. I'm going to go ahead and clear the rules from the selected cells. Okay. All right. So what we need to do is create a conditional format's going to highlight all the ones below the average. Okay, so we go up to conditional formatting. I click the drop down list, and I want to do top bottom rules, and I'm going to do below average. Okay. From there, you can select what you want it to be. If you want it to be yellow fill with dark yellow text, green fill with green yellow text, or you can just do light red fill with dark red text. Okay, and we want only the ones that are below the average. Again, I could change this if I want to. Format only unique or duplicate values. You can change it to whatever you want it to. Excel has so many different options that you could do. Okay, we could also change this to go above average too, or below, or standard deviation above. I mean, we're getting really in depth there. But right now we're just going to go below. Okay, go ahead and click OK. You can see here that all the test scores that were below the average got highlighted in red. So if I change this 73 to an 80%, you can see that's above average. When I click enter, and then it's no longer highlighted. Okay, I get that back to 73. Make sure everything's right. This conditional formatting that we have here, that is just the bars. So data bars right here, you can go into a gradient fill. I think it wanted it to be a light blue data bar. So if you rest your cursor over it, it'll tell you what color it is so you can see. But that's just going to kind of give you a visual reference of where it's at. It gives that wow factor. One other thing I want to do is if I go ahead and change this, I'm going to remove the formatting on this. We'll go to normal. So you can see it's just normal text as we typed it in. If we want to make that the same as up here, it's called a highlighter. So we're going to highlight the format. Again, things are just a tad different in Apple as they are in a PC. So up here, the paintbrush, we're going to copy this location. So all I did is I copied the exact format. I didn't copy student ID. I copied that it was size 13. It was heading 1 for a cell style. And once I click test average, it's going to format test average as student ID was. So it's kind of a nice little function. So you don't always have to change something to size 12 Times New Roman, bold, italicized. You can do it once and then highlight it and make everything else the same. Decimals, okay? This one right here, you can see here that we have 1 decimal. We can change that. We can add decimals to it if we want. That's just up here, the shortcut method. The longer method of it would be to actually select a custom one, get the dialog box up. You can see here we can go to general, and it's not actually let me set, maybe I gotta go to number. Here we go, 2 decimal places. I can change this to 1 decimal place if I want, and I can actually use it to set put commas in there as well. But we don't need to worry about commas, so we can change it to 1 decimal place. I think this one's actually supposed to be 2. We can change that to 2 decimal places. I think that is it for grades. Hopefully this helped out on a few things in Excel. I'm going to have another video sent out here where we're going to talk about the exercise that you're supposed to do, but I'll cut this one short so I don't take up a lot of your time. So if you have any questions at all, you need to come in and ask. Make sure you guys stay ahead. I know for class right now, we're shooting to take a test on Friday. It'll be April 4th, I believe. So I'd like you to be in that range right there. I know I said due dates are going to be flexible. Just make sure that you're staying on task. I know since you guys don't have an allotted class period during the day to take this, I just want to make sure that you're staying on task and we don't get 2-3 weeks behind, because then if you don't have an allotted class time to take it, it's gonna you're gonna struggle to get caught up. So hopefully you guys are getting caught up. Please ask if you have any questions. All right, thanks.